Welcome back to another exciting episode of The Incredible Hokes. I am Chris.
I'm Mark.
This is part 2 of our movies that should have won the Oscar, not the other one. This is our honorable mentions show. The last one we said our most egregious. We both agree on Star Wars losing to Annie Hall. And then we came up with our own second one because we just agreed on that one.
Right.
He said Kramer versus Kramer losing to Apocalypse Now. I said Ordinary People losing to Raging Bull. But there's so many more out there.
Oh, yeah.
We felt it needs a whole other show. So what would be your first, in no particular order, your next egregious oversight of the wrong movie winning?
Well, I will say Oliver, 1968, beating out 2001 really annoys me.
Was 2001 even nominated?
It wasn't even nominated. And 2, Oliver has the sheer balls to have an exclamation point in their title. It's like they're mocking us with that exclamation. Yeah, Oliver! And it's like, you're mocking us, aren't you? And then 2001 doesn't even get nominated. So I'm really pissed about that. But post 77, it annoys me to no end that Raiders of the Lost Ark, although it is nominated, didn't win, and Chariots of Fire won. It's, again, another good movie, but it's like, eh.
Well, at least Chariots of Fire was a movie. Unlike Kramer vs. Kramer, unlike Ordinary People, I do feel Chariots of Fire was a movie. You know what I mean? It was a TV movie.
It was actually, I think it was was that an early Merchant Ivory production? I don't know.
It felt like it.
I think it felt like one of their movies, but anyway.
But it was the story moved. It didn't plod along.
Yeah.
The movie moved okay. It had it felt like a movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't like just like a Lifetime thing. It felt like a movie. I'll give it that. I still agree it was egregious. The Raiders of the Lost Ark was like hands down the better movie. Not even close. But again, time proved that to be the case.
Yeah. Part of the job or the burden that's on the Oscar voter, and I don't think at times they've taken this as serious when they go vote. It's like, you need to kind of have in mind when you're voting for Best Picture, something that you feel like is going to wear well with repeated viewings. What's going to have longevity?
Yeah.
And if you think like that, I can't imagine someone going, yeah, I could watch Chariots of Fire 20 times in a row. I can't see that. But if someone's saying, well, Raiders of the Lost Ark, oh, yeah, I could see 20 years from now still enjoying this adventure.
Right.
I mean, I could totally buy into, but that's just me.
Well, I totally agree with that one. Raiders of the Lost Ark was totally jobbed on that one by Chariots of Fire. Again, Chariots of Fire, a decent movie. At least it did feel like a movie, unlike our others. But I'm going to go a little more controversial here.
Ooh.
One we have not talked a lot about in depth.
Surprise, all right.
Dances with Wolves beating out Goodfellas. Now, with Dances with Wolves, I actually like Dances with Wolves. Actually, I like Dances with Wolves, the theatrical version that we saw when it came out. Because I remember we saw it.
Yeah.
And I want that one. Like this, I don't even know if you can get that version anymore. Every time I look at the damn Blu-ray, it's this crappy extra footage
Well, it's
shit.
the director's cut adds like 40 minutes.
I don't want that one. I never saw that one. I don't want to see that one. I want the one I saw. You know what I mean? And you can't ever find it.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing. This thing is like not being able to get the versions.
Yeah, I sympathize on that one.
Anyway, but Goodfellas is the better movie. And even though I like Dances with Wolves, I don't have a problem with Dances with Wolves. It is a movie. It feels like it had to be made for the movies. It's big and epic, and it's a big subject, and it's long and meaty and juicy and visceral and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just a movie. It's an okay movie. It's not a great movie. Goodfellas was electric, and it was huge and big and exciting, and it's visceral. And time, once again, has proven it to be the better movie. People love Goodfellas. It's a beloved movie.
Oh, yeah.
Dances with Wolves is, again, like the others, sort of fallen off and slipped through the cracks, and nobody really remembers it that much or talks about it that much, It's sort of just, there. Goodfellas has been copied, and Sopranos basically was nothing but a Goodfellas ripoff, you know what I mean? And so on and so forth. Goodfellas, to the test of time, has just been proven over and over again to be the superior movie. And I loved Goodfellas. I saw it twice at the movies. Yeah. Didn't I? I think I saw it twice at the movies. Anyways, that movie, it was really the movie that really got me to...
I know I saw it more than once, yeah.
I think that Goodfellas was the movie that kind of made me gain my first interest in the Scorsese. And then I backtracked and caught Taxi Driver. Because in 90, I would have been like 14. Yeah, I would have been 14 in 1990. So I saw Goodfellas and then sort of backtracked and saw... I think that's how it happened. Then I went back and saw Raging Bull and Taxi Driver and so on and so forth. Pretty sure that's the way it went. But anyway, Goodfellas was the better movie and it lost Dance with Wolves. But to add weight to our argument, Dance with Wolves, again, it doesn't have to be just a TV movie that we think, robs the other movie. Here is a visceral, epic movie that I just don't think was better than this other one. So Goodfellas, I think, got robbed by Dance with Wolves. Damn sure Scorsese got robbed by Costner.
Wow. Okay.
That's a whole other thing right there. That's a whole other show right there. So what are your thoughts on that one?
Well, that one, I'll start with what I agree on. I agree that Goodfellas is a great film, and I think it is the superior film. I think I disagree that the stock of Dancing with Wolves, I think it's still, its stock is still high, especially those that love westerns. I enjoy Goodfellas more than Dancing with Wolves, but I think it's still the distance between those two is actually less. I mean, they're closer together than other films.
So you think it's not as egregious?
I don't think it's. I don't think it is egregious. I think what hurts Dancing with Wolves is they had that somber ending, and if they would have found a way, an ending,
it was a clunky ending,
and because I mean, it's a 3-hour movie, and to go that way and have such a somber ending, I think if they'd found a way to be a little more uplifting or a little more hopeful, I think it would have. Its stock would be even higher. But at any rate, I think among especially people that love westerns, they're always talking about Dancing with Wolves, like the Costner westerns, that and Open Range. You hear that all the time, that those two movies get talked about a lot, that people love. So yeah, I think the distance between those two, they're actually pretty close. They're both, I think, great films, but I do agree that Goodfellas should have won. It was the better movie, and absolutely Scorsese. His direction, as I've said before, is textbook. If you want to know watch a movie and see textbook, perfect directing, see Goodfellas, because it would be, if I was teaching a class on direction, it may be the first film I'd show.
Well, that's a great compliment. Yeah, I think that Scorsese, if you recall, kind of had a down period in the 80s. The 80s weren't. After Raging Bull, he did some movies that were kind of shaky.
Yeah.
Well,
After Hours.
After Hours, King of Comedy. Color of Money was kind of way subpar to what. In fact, there's a famous story where Siskel and Ebert both told him that he was better than that. You remember that? You heard that story?
No, I
believe it was Siskel told him that we expect more from you than this. And he tells the story himself. Wow. Scorsese himself tells the story. Like, it was like a lightning bolt moment. They're like, hey, you're better than this. You're better than The Color of Money. So he had a down period, and Goodfellas was like this major eruption that he was back. And then, other than a few misses since, he's been pretty much stayed there. Kundun and the one with Nicolas Cage were kind of off, but for the most part, he's been back.
Yeah. Bring in the Dead?
Bringing out the Dead?
Something like that.
That movie sucked, but for the most part, he's been back ever since. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. We got time for one more, and then we'll move on from movies. You get to do the last one. You have the last word here. You have another egregious error. Forrest Gump beating Pulp Fiction. Does that one stick out in your mind? Glory, or Driving Miss Daisy being out, I think what...
Well, that's where I was going to go.
Okay.
1989, Driving Miss Daisy won, and the film Glory, it was directed by Edward Zwick. Great Civil War drama.
Was Glory even nominated?
And it wasn't even nominated. That's what just kills me.
But you can't talk about that one because that's not what we're doing. We're doing nominees.
Yeah.
So you can't go that way. For our final one, you can't go that way.
I can't go that way.
Because you got to be a nominee at least for this
All right,
episode.
how about this? I would much rather watch Field of Dreams than Drive Miss Daisy. Okay? And I'll stay in that year. I think Field of Dreams is just kind of one of those... it's a slice of Americana mixed with our love of sports. And, you know, and of course, Costner, he does have that kind of all-American appeal, that Gary Cooper quality, you know, if you will.
Well, and, like he's had a late career resurgence.
Last
year he's kind of resurging. He's one of those guys I always wanted to be good. I always liked Costner.
I'm pleased to see that. So anyway, Field of Dreams, I think, remains a bright spot in his career, but it's a really good film that is it's a timeless movie. I know some people that watch it every year when it gets near spring training for baseball and all that. They watch it for the open of season for baseball. So it's still held in high regard. You just don't hear people talk about Driving Miss Daisy anymore. And it's again really good movie, but I just think Field of Dreams is
staying that same year.
As American pop culture, folks.
I would have picked Born on the 4th of July over both of those staying in that same year. But my one I'm gonna go out on is Saving Private Ryan.
That's a good
losing
one.
To Shakespeare in Love. Let me just repeat that. Let that sort of marinate for a second. Just absorb this. Saving Private Ryan lost Best Picture to Shakespeare in Love. Just take pause this and just sort of marinate on that.
That's a good one to go out.
We'll be here when you get back.
Shakespeare
That's right,
in Love.
That's right.
Beat Saving Private Ryan. 1998. That's just crazy.
98.
1998. That's crazy. Titanic's 97.
Okay, I was thinking Titanic. How'd you read my mind like that? You knew I was thinking Titanic. Did I say it?
I just knew the year. I just felt
But you knew, like on the tip of my tongue, I was about to say Titanic.
Yeah.
That's the scary shit I'm talking about.
Hey, it's live, folks.
That's crazy. All right, so like, that's weird. Like our relationship. Like earlier, we're talking politics. I got tired of talking politics. I said, I can't take it anymore. I can't talk about politics. And he's like, okay, and he just went on to something else. Yeah. And like that's kind of our relationship.
What do you think about that football game?
And anyway, so yes. Shakespeare in Love is an okay movie. It's kind of a concept movie in a way of like, well, what if, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I thought it was okay. I saw it one time, and I thought, it's all right.
Well, I would tell people, if you're tired of the rom-coms that are always usually in a contemporary setting, if you want one that's a bit different, because it's a period piece. It's done in, as a period piece, but it's basically a rom-com. And it's a good one.
To me, it came off like, I don't know. I don't like Joseph Fiennes. He's just creepy to me. You know the Shakespeare.
Yeah. He's never took off as a.
He never took
star,
off. His brother Ray Fiennes is like fantastic. He's just a great actor, but Joseph Fiennes is just creepy to me.
He just hadn't found his footing. I just don't. I think sometimes stars or actors and actresses are just not meant to be the lead role, but can be a good character actor. So maybe he's too creepy for even character. He's just creepy.
But
I did like him in Enemy at the Gate.
Again, because he played a creepy guy. When he plays a creepy guy, he's fine. He was creepy in that movie.
You thought he was creepy as a
Well,
sniper?
he was.
He's a little odd.
No, he was the sniper's buddy. He was the little weasel, and he even ratted him out later. And he was a turncoat.
He wasn't the sniper itself?
No, that was Jude Law was the sniper.
Oh, was he?
Enemy at the Gates? Did you ever see this movie?
Oh, that's right.
Did you even watch this movie?
I did, but it's been 15 years, folks. You'll have to forgive me.
It was Jude Law was the sniper.
Jude Law was the actual sniper.
Joseph Fiennes was the political officer.
Yeah.
That he was a propagandist, and he made him into a hero, and then he turned on him because he got all attention, and he was nailing the girl from The Mummy.
Yeah, Rachel Weisz. Yeah.
Who I would have been nailing too, because Rachel Weisz is hot.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, we got off sidetrack there.
Now we're back.
Saving Private Ryan is probably the greatest war film ever made. If I made a war film list, it probably wouldn't be number one. Probably now would be on technicality. But if actual like a war movie, like not like a visionary, like a psychedelic trip or something, like but just like a war movie, like you're like really cold about it, like war movie, like it has to be about war and that's it. Like that would be my favorite war movie ever. And I know like Oliver Stone says it's not realistic, and I'm like, okay, I got that. I get it's not realistic, but it's just a great freaking movie. It's just.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's got a lot of stuff going on. It's just really well made. The violence in it is just incredible. Like the realism of the bullet hits is just fantastic. Just a great movie. Shakespeare Love is just. You don't even laugh. You kind of like there's no moment to really remember from it. It just sort of happens. And he doesn't even get her in the end. She like moves off to another island or some shit. She moves to another country. You know what I'm talking about? Because he can't be with her for some reason. She's betrothed.
And I only saw it the one time, so
yeah, same here.
Asking me a lot of details about that movie was kind of
in fact
slippery slope.
That movie made me turn off of Gwyneth Paltrow. Like I hated her forever until Iron Man. I hated her from that movie till Iron Man. That period between Shakespeare in Love and Iron Man, I hated her. So that's like 9 years.
Wow.
I didn't like her. I still think she's weird. But the fact that she was in that movie and that beat that same for Ryan just sort of jaded me on her. And then when she did Iron Man, I'm like, okay, well, I dig you again. You did Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because she came off like, I did Shakespeare in Love. I'm British. Well, no, you're in America. You're born in like Massachusetts. Well, I'm British. And kind of like Madonna, where she became British. And she's from Detroit.
Right.
And so Gwyneth Paltrow did that same thing, or wherever the hell she's from. Yeah. And like Angelina Jolie has done the same thing. You know, they all think they're fucking British, you know, even though they're not. And she was one of those, and I just detest that. Like, you're from freaking, like, Springfield, where, I don't know where you're from, but it ain't there. And she kind of has that whole thing, and I think it's just weird. So, I forgave her most of that after Iron Man, because, you know, it's a cool movie.
Boy, we went on a tangent there. I think that Saving Private Ryan is a great movie. And certainly one of the best war films of all time.
Yeah, agreed. Top 5 for me.
So
at least top 5.
It'd be up there. Yeah.
All right, Gwyneth Paltrow, start acting American. All right, anything else? You get the last word.
Yeah. Just can we just stay away from just Shakespeare? I think we've done. I think it's 2015. I'm kind of bored with Shakespeare, so think of something else.
We could do a whole show on just bashing Shakespeare.
I'm up for it. I'm just kind of done with it. It's like, okay, we've been there.
Well, my thing is, like, why do I have to like it?
They just keep remaking. It's like, well, didn't they just make a like, all right, now it's this guy's Hamlet. It's like, okay, now it's this guy's Hamlet. It's like, yes, we get it, you know. And then next year it'll be Romeo and Juliet for the 100th billionth time, and I'm just kind of I've washed my hands of
it's like
all of that.
Fucking British people, they always make that damn pride. What we talked about this the other day. Did we do it on camera? I think we did it on camera.
I don't think we did.
Pride and Prejudice, Jane Eyre, and all the other crap. They make it like every other year, and it's always nominated. Like, this is the greatest movie ever. Like, you just made it that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This is the third time Keira Knightley got nominated for Pride and Prejudice. It's for 3 separate times. You know what I mean? Like Helen Bonham in Jane Eyre. Like, well, she did it 5 times already.
Yeah, I know that's not Shakespeare, but still, you get our point, folks. All these kind of literary things are like 200 years old, and people just keep.
And the thing is, like, you're supposed to like it. That's what I don't like is you're supposed to like it. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to like Shakespeare.
Well, I could deal with it if we're gonna do Pride and Prejudice. Okay, here's our version. Now, we won't do another version for another 20 years. You can kind of like
generational.
Yeah, it's like we'll take a whole break and then we'll come back to it later.
Yeah, I can handle generational.
But no, it's just we know. Well, there was just something.
It's like a 3-year cycle.
Just something in the last year was It was basically a Romeo and Juliet knockoff. I can't remember the name.
Who
of
finances this crap?
And I'm like, who's doing this? It's just. It's like we know the story. I don't take any pleasure in a story that I know so darn well that there's no doubt on the outcome. I don't take any. That's not entertainment to me.
Right.
And that's really what it comes down to. I know the story so damn well to me, it's a waste of my time. I want something new, even if it's stupid. It's like, well, thank God it's new. Yeah, great. Will Ferrell has a new movie out. Great, it's new. It's different.
Well, see, this goes back. The point I was trying to make a second ago is there are certain things in the arts and media that you're just supposed to like by everybody's standards. Mm-hmm. Shakespeare's one of those. Oh, Shakespeare's the greatest. Don't you just love his plays? And I'm like, no, I don't fucking love his plays. It's boring. But you can't say that because well, you can say it, but you're not supposed to say it. You're supposed to respect Shakespeare. He's the bard. He's the father of it all. And you're like, no, that's crap. He sucks.
I go the other way. The ones that annoy me are the ones that like they want to sound special, and they'll come and like, well, I study Shakespeare. Big fucking deal. Yeah. Everybody in acting at some point or another, if you're a serious actor, study Shakespeare. It doesn't make you special.
The thing is, like, every media has that, like, that thing that you're supposed to, like, you have to be a fan of. It's like, and I know you like them, so don't take that. I'm not bashing too hard. But this is an example.
Okay.
The Beatles. Why the fuck do I gotta like the Beatles? Because I kind of don't. I mean, I like some of the songs, but I think some of it's crap.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hear what you're hearing, or not you, but in general. I don't hear what people are hearing, so it's like, why do I have to? Oh, the Beatles, they're the Beatles, yes. And I'm like, no, not the Beatles. No, I don't want. No, that sucks. It's terrible.
But here they are. You got like Shakespeare on one side, it's like the most famous writer of all time. Then you got here, to use your example, here you got the Beatles, the most famous band of all time, and then people want to like carry on like, I'm in on something that we're the minority. I've just discovered this band you've never heard of. You're like,
the Beatles.
Like, who are they? The Beatles. Like, are you out of your damn mind?
It's like
it's like it's not even mainstream. It's like freaking universal.
It's beyond mainstream.
It's beyond.
It's like saying, you know what? I root for a team that you never heard of, the New York Yankees.
No, do you really? Like, did they ever win a World Series?
It's like you're reading for the most
you don't have enough toes and fingers for the rings they have.
You've lost all credibility. You just picked like the most popular thing on earth and made that your thing.
But you know the type I'm talking about. It's those people that are like, I've just discovered something, or I'm special because I study Shakespeare.
Well, it goes. The Yankee analogy is great. If you want to take it away from media, use it as the Yankees. I love the Yankees. I'm so much specialer than you because I love the Yankees. I'm like, well, yeah, you and about 1 billion other people like the fucking Yankees.
I know.
There's nothing special about that, dude.
It's like,
try being a freaking, Milwaukee, fan or something like that.
Be a Chicago Cubs fan. See how they like it.
Long suffering they are.
Yeah, long suffering. One jack.
It's football. You want to impress me? I'm an Arizona Cardinal fan since the 70s or something.
Yeah.
Then now I know this guy is.
And then you're like, yeah,
this guy's
you're hardcore, man. Yeah.
So yeah, don't tell me you like the most popular thing and then act like you're special. And don't tell me I have to like it because I'm supposed to just like it generically. Ugh.
Yeah. It's just that idea that they're in on something and we're It's so elitist. I think that's part of it. Why it irks me. I hate elitist crap.
Well,
I think we went on another tangent.
We went on another tangent. We might have to cut this out as another episode as I make my noise. So all right. So with that, we'll be back with what we're going to talk about next. Oh yeah, Oscar directors that should have won but didn't get host. So with that, thank you.